Hello.
Yes, Prem.
Hi, Prem.
Yeah,
Morning, Prem.
morning. Okay, we are on live. Just a second, let me also start the recording. Hi everyone, good morning. Welcome to COE's Pro Bono exclusive webinar. Today we have
Yes, Prem.
Ellen
Hi, Prem.
for the following series.
Morning, Prem.
Yeah, as a okay, we are on live. Just a second, let me also start the recording. Okay, and in this series, the part 8 of the series is like nail your Excel interviews from basic to advanced level. And in today's session, Ellen would be demonstrating, and also Ellen would be sharing the files which through which he can able to demonstrate you the process of giving a hands-on experience on Excel and prepare you for the Excel interviews. So welcome, Ellen.
All right. So thank you, Prem. Okay, so I'll get started. Just a test check. So if you can hear me, please type number one. If you can see the screen, please type number two. So if you look carefully, what Prem has mentioned just now, basically it is regarding the interview series on how we can use Excel. Basically, like what we did last week was on Power Query, but today we are going to automate report, doing a data automation. So if you can hear me, you can type number one in the chat box. And if you can see the screen, you can just type number two in the chat box. All right. So nevertheless, I'll just get started. So thank you guys for typing one and two, Mohit. So now what I'll do is I'll just get started. So what I'll do is I'll just show you. Okay. So basically, this is one case study regarding consolidate claims report. Okay, so let me open this claims report and just let me show to you so that you can actually understand what is this report is. Okay, so basically, if you look in this particular file, we do have the particular database regarding claims where we have the claim date, we have employee, we have expenses category, and we have the amount. So what I want to do is I want to do a data automation whereby with just one click, it can automate the report. So let's get started. Okay, so what is the session is interview series whereby Ellen will be explaining on Microsoft Excel. So how to automate the report in Excel. All right, so now what we'll do is number one is I want you to click data ribbon. Once you click data ribbon, I want you to click on get data. Once you click get data, I want you to click what? I want you to click from folder. Meaning to say over here we have data. Under the data, we have get data. Under this get data, we do have from file and from folder. Okay, so let me just upkeep my notes. So basically from file and then after that from folder. Then once you go to folder, you'll notice that a box will appear. So what you need to do is you need to know where you save the file because sometimes we save the file in the desktop, in the documents, in the downloads. So where you save the file. So a box will appear. I want you to click on claims folder. Once you click on claims folder, another box will appear. And what I want you to do is I want you to press combine and load to. Once you press combine and load to, another box will appear. And what this time I want you to do is I want you to click the claims and press OK. So once you press OK, another box will appear. And this time it's up to you whether you want to load as table or pivot table or what. Okay. So step number one is click data ribbon, get data from file from folder. That means data, get data from file from folder. So once you click from folder, you will notice that a box will appear. Like I told you, once you click from folder, a box will appear. So what I want to do is, I want to go to desktop and then after that, I will go to my file. So for example, I save in 22nd November, that's December and this one. So I want to click on claims folder. So I want to click on claims folder. That means I don't double click. You don't have to double click. You select one time. You select one time and then what you do is you press open. So once you press open, you will notice that another box will appear. So another box will appear. You need to press combine and load to. So over here we have combine and load to. You click it over here, you will notice that another box will appear. So you click claims and okay. So you click claims and then you press OK. So once you press OK, then you will notice that another box will appear and this time you load as a table. Okay. So there are many ways. Either you want to load table, pivot table, chart, is up to you. But this time we want to load as table. So you press OK. So eventually you will notice that it will load as a table. So right now what you see is you are looking at a January data. What we are learning right now is we are learning on data automation. Meaning to say, if just say I go to this folder and I select February, I select March. I select February, I select March. I put February and March into the claims folder and then I click it over here, click here, right click and I press refresh. When I press refresh, you will notice right now we have February, we also have March. Meaning to say we are able to consolidate. Meaning to say here we have January, February, March. Maybe let us do one more time. Meaning to say I'll go to my screen, April, May, June. April, May, June. I put all these files into the claims report. I move it over here and then I select right click and I press refresh. I click like that. You will notice that now we do have up to May. So meaning to say over here just now we have January only, but now we have until June. So what we learn from here is basically we learn how to automate the report. So if just say I go back to claims, I select all these files and I put it back here. Okay. Now, when I refresh, right click and refresh, you will notice now we have January only. So what we are learning right now is how to automate a report. Regardless whether it's Excel or Power BI, we can use refresh and automatically you can automate. So let me show you the notes again. What is the notes? Our course, like what Prem Sai mentioned is, this is a interview series whereby we will learn about Excel, but our focus is how to automate the report. So just say you need to compile. Sometimes we don't want to copy and paste. We want to do compilation. So these are the steps. The only difference right now is I want to change this table to pivot table. Okay. So let's see what we can do in this pivot table. Meaning to say, click data ribbon, get data from file, from folder, okay, a box will appear. So yes, a box has appeared. You need to click the claims folder. You don't click 2 times, you click 1 time only. Then after that, another box will appear. So you press open and then you will notice that another box will appear. You just click combine and load to. Once you click combine and load to, then you will notice that a box will appear. So you select the claims and then you press OK. Press OK. So right now the difference is you are going to click on pivot table. That means another box will appear. You will load as pivot table. So you click here, pivot table, and then press OK. So once you press OK, so now you have a data. So what I'll do is I'll click the amount and I'll click the date. So right now we have this date, but I don't want the dates like this. I want to press right click, group, and I want to select as months. So let it be months. So right now, what if just say I put another data? That means I go to this file. We have January, February. So January, February, March, April, May, I put here. Once I put it over here, I go to my pivot table. I press right click. I press refresh. You will notice now the data has been automated. Meaning when we put the files into the folder, it will be refreshed automatically. So my friends, do you understand? If you understand, can you type number 3 in the chat box? Okay. So maybe I'll show you one more time. What we do is just say we put all the files into the claims folder. And then after that, when we go here, and then when we press right click and refresh, you will notice that the data will be automated automatically. So right now we have all the months and so on. So what we learn from here is how we can automate the report. Instead of just copy and paste, we can actually right now automate the report. So now let's try the same thing in Power BI. So now if just say I go back to my claims folder, okay, I just want to select all these and I put here. Okay, now let us try in Power BI. So what I'll do is I'll go to Power BI. So this time I will get data. I will select on more and I will select on folder. So meaning to say instead of here, I'll select folder and I press connect. Once I press connect, then they will ask me where's the location. I click browse and then I save in the desktop. Desktop, 22nd January, December, and case study 1, I select this claims and I press OK. Once I press OK, I press OK. So the moment I press OK, you will notice that this box will appear. So this one, combine and load. Okay, combine and load. So once I press combine and load, you will notice that a box will appear. So I select claims and then I press OK. So once I press OK, then eventually you will notice that it will load the data to the Power BI. So once it load the data to Power BI, what we can do is we can create some visual. So meaning to say, if just say over here, I'll just take the amount and I just take the month. Okay, I just take the month. So right now what you have is January. If you see here, January. So if just say, let me make it bigger. So now we have January. So what we do is, if just say, we put February, March, April, May, and we put into the claims folder. So right now in your claims, we'll have all the other months. So what I do is, I go here, I click refresh. So once I click refresh, you will notice that right now, it will have January, February up to May. So what we learn from here is how we can do automation. Basically, if just say you have monthly report, then you can do this to prepare automate report. Okay. So my friends, did you learn something? If you learn something, maybe can you type number 3 in the chat box? Okay. All right. So just join. Okay, never mind. I'll try to teach one more time so that you can understand. Okay. Meaning to say, what we are doing right now is we are doing data automation. So like in this particular folder, we have consolidate claims report. So what I want to do is I want to actually compile the report. Meaning to say here we have all the months from January up to May. So what I want to do is I want to compile. So maybe let me do one more time. So what I'll do is I will highlight all these files and I put it back here. Okay. So now what we are learning is, just to repeat again, we are learning on how to automate report. That means how to actually compile the files. All right. So let's do one more time. So basically, the session for today is interview series with Alan, whereby I will be teaching on Microsoft Excel. So the difference right now is I will just try to do, instead of pivot table, I want to choose pivot chart. So step number 1 is you click data ribbon. Where is data ribbon? Over here, we have data ribbon. And then what you do is you click get data. Where is get data? Over here, we have get data. And then from file. So you select here from file. And then you select from folder. So folder over here, then you will notice that a box will appear. Then you click the claims folder. Meaning to say, what you do is you just click on the claims folder. You don't double click. When you double click, you'll go somewhere. So what you need to do is you need to select one time. That means you go back, you select here, and you press open. Once you press open, you will notice that another box will appear. So you need to press combine and load to. So combine and load to. So once you press combine and load to, another box will appear. You click claims. You click the claims and then you press OK. Once you press OK, and then you will notice that another box will appear. So now what you need to do is you need to load as pivot chart. So I select the pivot chart and I press OK. So once I press OK, so now what I do is I will just take the amount and I take the claim date. Okay. So now you have these dates and so on. But what I want to do is instead of these dates, I just want to press right click, group, right click, group, and then I only want to group as months only. Okay, so group and months. So now what I want to do is Okay, I'll just show you all. I will click all these months and I just put it into the claims report. So once I put all the files into the claims folder, so what I do is I press here right click and then I press refresh. Once I press refresh, you will notice that it will automatically will try to absorb all the data from January up to August. Okay, so I noticed that some of you just joined. Don't worry, I'll try to repeat again. I don't save this file. I can repeat one more time so that you can understand. But before that, what I'll do is I will try to put this folder, okay, this folder in the chat box. Okay, so let me just put it over here. All right, there you go. So it's sending. So you can just open the file. We are going to cover on case study 1. Okay, so now let me just do one more time so that you can actually understand how I did it. So the number 1 is what we are learning right now. We are learning on how to combine, or the other name is compile, consolidate all the report into one file. How to do that? So basically, number 1 is we click data. Where is data? Data is over here. Over here is data. After you click data, you click on get data. After you click get data, and then after that, you click on from file. Okay, so don't worry. Later, so I'll show you. This is with Excel, you should Power BI. Yeah, correct. The same way only. Excel and Power BI, because there's a question in the chat box. Excel and Power BI is the same. Same way. Okay, so from file and then from folder. Once you click from folder, a box will appear. So they will ask you where you save the file. You must know where you save. Either you save in your desktop, download, up to you. So where you save, it depends. So I will just select claims folder. You need to select one time, not double click, select one time and you press open. And then after that, number 3 is another box will appear. So this time you need to combine and load to. And then number 4 is another box will appear. You need to select the claim sheet. And then you need to press OK. Number 5, another box will appear. So this one up to you. You want to put in table format or pivot table, is up to you. So let me put here pivot chart. Okay, I'll do one more time so that you can understand the context. Okay, this one also I can just close. I'll close this Power BI. Okay, so now let me do in Excel file. Later, I'll show you in Power BI. So what we do is, first step is click data, get data from file, and then from folder. Okay, from file, from folder, a box will appear. Yes, a box will appear. You select the claim folder. You select the claim folder and you press open. You press open. Then eventually you will notice that a box will appear. So what you need to do is you need to press on combine and load to. So what you select is you select combine and load to. Once you select combine and load to, another box will appear. You need to select the claim sheet. You need to select claim sheet. This is, and then you press OK. So what you do is you press OK. Once you press OK, another box will appear. You need to select pivot chart. Pivot chart and OK. So right now, what happened is, if just say I pick here amount and claim date. Okay, so here we have all January. If just say I go to the file, I select all the months, I put into the claims. So what happened right now is February until August, I put inside the claims folder. So right now, when I press right click and I press refresh, you will see here we have January up to August. So what I can do is right click, group, and I press enter. So right now we have January until August. So my friends, do you understand? If you understand, can you type number 4 in the chat box before we go to Power BI so that I can show you the same magic to y'all? Okay, so you say you understand. So now let me just do one more time. Okay, so let me just click this. So this one all, I will just put all these files outside. Okay, so now if just say I right click and refresh, you will notice that now it becomes 1 month only. So let us do one more time so that you understand. Okay, so I'll open my Power BI. Power BI is also the same way, but it's just that we only can close and load, combine and load only. There's no combine and load too. So I click here blank report. Okay, so what we will do right now is we will learn how we can compile. So I will try to go to get data, and then after that I will click more, and then after that I'll try to click folder. Okay, they will ask me which folder. So I save in my desktop 22nd December and case study 1 claims, and I press OK. So once I press OK, what I do is I press OK. The moment I can press OK, they will ask me, okay, so I just go here, combine and load. So once I press combine and load, you will notice that, okay, a box will appear. So you just select claims and then you press OK. Once you press OK, then after that, the data will be loaded in the Power BI. So once you loaded it, what you can do is you can actually press the visual and then you can select. Meaning to say, for example, over here, I just select the amount and I select the months. Okay, so here we have the month of January. So what I do is I go here, I select all the months and I put under the claims folder. So right now, I just click refresh. Once I click refresh, you will notice that the data has been updated. So my friends, do you understand? If you understand, can you type number 5 in the chat box? All right, so far any questions? If you have any questions, you can ask. If you have no questions, this thing. So basically, I got tissue. You can just try to practice this. So what we learn is, we learn Power Query on how we can consolidate the files with just one click. Meaning to say every month there's a report means you can just re-click and so on. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, we can just end the session. Yes, the data source is the folder. So we need to save the file and then, yes, the data source is the folder. Yes. Yes, same columns and also same sheet. Same columns and same sheet. To answer your question, yeah, same columns and also same sheet. The sheet name must be same. All right, so no questions, then I will pass to Prem Sai or anybody to end the session. If you have any questions, you can ask. Then no questions means see you when I see you. All right, so if no questions, then all right, how to automate the process of downloading? Downloading means like what? Are you talking about downloading from internet? Okay, Excel file download. That means we can either, let me show you. We can actually either import the source from an Excel file, like you go to data, you click get data from file, like that also can. That means you can actually import the data from Excel workbook. The one also can. But you have to make sure that you don't delete the file, you don't edit anything, because sometimes there will be an error. Yes, you can choose from edit from Excel workbook. Okay, did I answer your question? That means you can go to data, get data from file, Excel workbook. So we can actually use Excel Automate also can when you import data. If you have any questions, you can ask. If you have no questions, then see you when I see you. All right. So thank you, everyone. Have a good day. I hope you learn something. Thank you, everyone.
Mm. Uh, do you have any other questions from the audience? Okay. And also, maybe so, Ellen, if you are planning to take like a couple of sessions more on like Power Query or this time data modeling maybe or DEX
Mm-hmm.
with
Oh
uh,
yeah, power
any
trips.
special request from the audience.
Yeah, yeah. Depends on the audience. Depends when many audience come. Yeah, sure, definitely.
Okay. I hope everyone has enjoyed the session, and I would strongly recommend you all to also follow the hands-on and try to practice this on the data sets which Ellen has shared you in the chat. Okay. Okay, then. Thank you
All
all.
right.
Have a great Sunday. Thank you, Ellen.
Thank you.
Yeah.